Hello and welcome back to the Carvecast, episode 14, I believe. And I know it has been a long time. The last time I actually uploaded was on the 1st of June. So that is about 6 weeks ago today. And there's been so many times when I've wanted to record and I've just had no time. It's been the busiest 6 weeks ever. There's just been absolutely no time. But finally, I've got a free house today. Everybody's out. I've got a little bit of time. So I thought I'd sit down, chat to you guys and update you on my current ski situation and just talk about some of the past few weeks, my last ski trip, and also some of the things we've got coming up in the future as well. So I hope you're all well. I hope you've had the most incredible ski season ever and enjoying the summer. We're now well into June and July is coming up very, very quickly indeed. And the faster these summer months go, the quicker we are back to skiing. So that will be absolutely awesome. Now, my last ski trip was actually back to Hintertux again, the second time in the space of a month. If you guys go back to the previous episode, episode 13, that episode was all about my ski instructor training for my level 2 exams. And wow, that was a tough week. Let me tell you, that really was a tough week, but a fantastic week, made new friends, had some sensational skiing, and it 100% improved my skiing because of the mixed terrain and the mixed conditions we had to deal with that week. Now, my last ski trip was back to Hintertux again, but this time with the incredible Gary Tumbasz. Now, Gary Tumbasz does lots and lots of courses and he does them all around Europe and I think outside of Europe as well. You can find him on Instagram and various other places. He's got a website. But if you're looking to do any kind of really advanced training, whether it be for Moguls or carving or whatever it might be, he is an absolutely spectacular trainer and I can't recommend him enough. Really, really, really good trainer. Really nice guy as well. And when you train with Gary, you know about it. And what I mean by that is, there's no stopping, there's no breaks. Even when he's communicating what he wants you to do, he is really doing it quickly. It's all about skiing, it's hardcore skiing, and it's kind of incredible really. Absolutely fantastic training from someone who's got vast amounts of experience and who is an incredible skier themselves as well. Absolutely inspiring skier. So this particular course was a Moguls course, and to be perfectly honest with you, I probably wasn't quite ready for it. I've never done Moguls before other than on my instructor course because there was Moguls at the end of the day, but I've never done anything that is dedicated to Moguls, and actually really only in the last couple of months of my winter had even attempted them. So this was a dedicated Moguls course, and my interpretation of Moguls is lumps on the piste at the end of the day. Gary's interpretation of Moguls, and I'm guessing other people's, is not. It's a Mogul line, which basically means where they carve out a dedicated Mogul line, usually off piste, well at least in this case it was, and it's not just navigating your own route through the Moguls and taking your time, going left to right, having the odd break. It is literally bang, 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 you know, one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other. And it's hard work. And on a very steep gradient, which we were working on, to do that was way at the very limit of my ability. And I'm not gonna lie, I struggled. I found it difficult, I found it intimidating, I found it exciting, I found it incredible, but it was a tough one for me. And I think where I've skied so much this season as well, and the last course really kind of took it out of me, I probably wasn't ready physically or maybe even mentally to do this particular level of training. It's also probably been the first course where I've been the worst skier in the group, which immediately kind of puts a little bit of, I don't know, like an edge on it that makes it more difficult because you feel like you're always trying to sort of catch up and keep up with everybody else. And yes, that is good in the way that it kind of keeps you pushing yourself forward, which I definitely did. But also is almost like a mental battle as well inside, especially for someone as inexperienced as me. And yeah, it was a tough few days. It was a very tough few days. When I got back from that, for the first time since I started skiing, I was ready to have a break. Like, the last thing I wanted to do was go skiing again. Whereas usually the second I leave the resort, I'm immediately thinking about when I can go skiing again. So this was a very, very different end to a trip. And I've had some time off to contemplate it and think about it and mull it all over in my mind, what I could have done better, what I did well, all of these different things. And admittedly, it probably took me about 6 weeks after that, which probably is not that long before now, to really get my head back into a place where I was thinking proactively about going skiing again. And now it's all I can think about again, which is kind of normality for me. So yeah, it was definitely an interesting few days. I learned a lot, and there is no doubt about it. My skiing has improved off of the back of it. Maybe not one in particular element, but all of it. Being able to deal with all of these crazy mixed conditions. And again, Hintertux, that place, I don't know if it's only when I've been there, but the variable conditions there, I know it's a glacier, which obviously kind of pushes towards variable conditions, but wow, the conditions were absolutely crazy, like literally hour to hour, just things changing. The first day we literally had, I'm not even joking, probably 10 inches of powder. And bearing in mind, this is right the third week of May. We had a good, probably, maybe not 10 inches, 8 to 10 inches of powder on the floor. And I'm on race skis, having to deal with that. Everybody else is on race skis, by the way, so it's not like it was only me and everyone else was on nice wide skis in the powder, and they were all doing fine. But I haven't done much of that type of skiing, so that very first day in that amount of powder, especially once it gets all chopped up, I found quite difficult on the race skis. And in fact, mine were definitely the narrowest. I was on 66mm race skis. Everyone else's was not that much bigger, but probably in the 70s, I'm guessing. Which probably helps a tiny little bit. But really, it's just down to skill, because if you get a good skier, they can ski anything in any conditions, and that's really where you want to get to. That's where I want to get to. And actually, it definitely made me realise that instead of focusing on any one thing, which I think you do need to do in order to progress that particular element, one of the most important things is being able to ski all conditions as well as the last set of conditions, if that makes sense. So the ability to ski on piste one day, powder the next day, bumps the next day, snow the next day, bad visibility the next day, but each day being able to ski equally as well as the day before. I think that is actually super important for your sort of progression of skills, and forcing yourself to do it, no doubt, has made me a better skier, albeit significantly physically and mentally challenged me. But yeah, it was all good. There was never a moment when I wasn't enjoying it as such, but it definitely pushed me to my limits. And when I was done, I was happy that I was done. I was happy that it was completed, and I was happy to have a good few weeks off and rearrange my mental thoughts to a place where I could go back to skiing in the next season and be better and work out how exactly I was going to do that. And I guess the conclusion that I've come to, especially after the Moguls training, is that if you really are trying to push on with your skiing and you're not there just to plod around and you know, cruise around the mountain just taking in the views, which I am to a certain degree, but also I want to be able to push on extremely hard and be as best of a skier that I can. In order to do that, fitness and your physical ability and your, obviously, your mental state as well is right up there. And I think the physical element of it and being as fit and as you possibly can be and as in good condition as you possibly can be is really going to be the most important factor in terms of progressing my skiing. So this summer I'm heavily focused on fitness, on my actual physical state, and also getting myself into a position mentally where I'll be able to use that as well. So I got forced into a high rocks recently. You can Google what that is if you don't know what it is, with absolutely no training whatsoever, no build up, no preparation. And we did it in 1 minute, 1 hour 30, which is a fairly reasonable time for someone with absolutely zero fitness. It was a doubles one, a mixed doubles. Did it with my friend Holly. So that was an incredible experience. And I think I'll probably look to do another one of those just before the ski season starts. And that will give me a good indication as to how much fitter I've got during that time. We are back in the gym doing weights, which I don't really enjoy at all, but I'm back in the gym doing my martial arts, which I absolutely do love. And believe it or not, I'm also running. I've never ran in my life. I'm not even joking. I've never even jogged. I've never done anything like that before. I've always done martial arts. But I am out running. I'm doing, 5 to 6K 2 to 3 times a week at the moment. And I think that will have a huge impact on my skiing performance when I do want to push on. So the next stage in my skiing progression is really going to be all about not skiing. It's going to be all about my fitness and my physical state at the time. And I'm hoping that alongside all of the incredible training that I've received recently from Gary and from loads of other trainers as well. I spoke loads and loads on my last video about the training that I received from Scott, who was absolutely sensational, and that really actually helped me hugely on the Gary course. I think if I hadn't have done that that course with Scott that week, I think I would not have even been able to do that course with Gary at all. I think I would have had to remove myself from it. But I think because of that training, it allowed me to at least get through it, albeit I was not performing as well as anyone else, not even close. So yeah, that's my next stages of skiing. And I think with all the knowledge that I've got, because I know, obviously being a level 2 trainer, I know the knowledge element of it, but I don't think I have the physical prowess to apply it in the way that I want to. A lot of people watch my skiing and they're like, oh, I know you're really good, like it's great, you're doing really well. But me being me, that is not even close to where I want to be. It's not even close to good enough. So this next season is going to be about pushing on massively, and I think the foundation of that is going to be down to my own fitness. So it's all in my hands, as usual, as everything always is, and it's up to me as to how much I can dedicate myself to being in the physical form that I want to be with the right levels of fitness, and that's what I'm going to try and do. So that kind of leads on to, when is the next ski trip? Well, I think in August, so that's probably, I think we're going towards the back end of August, so that's a couple of months away from this exact date. I do believe that I'm going to try to go to Landgraaf in Holland for a couple of days, which should be fun. I actually love going to Landgraaf. I really enjoy it. I mean, I know the gradient is not particularly steep, but that does lend itself to being able to drill and practice certain things at a lower speed. And I've always found that being able to do things at a lower speed, it can sometimes even be more difficult than it is at a higher speed. And Landgraaf gives you the ability to do that level of drills, repetitive training, and really try and progress those real details of your technique in a way that is more difficult on mixed terrain and steeper gradients when you're on the actual mountain. In Landgraaf, obviously the conditions are fixed, the snow is the same, and the gradient is the same, which gives you the ability to really home in on the details of your technique and try and perfect those as much as you possibly can. I know that sort of drilling and repetitive practicing is not to everybody's taste, but I actually really enjoy it. And I find that whenever I go to Landgraaf, my technique and my ability really does just push on. Not necessarily loads and loads and loads, because I think mixed terrain and various other things are the things that force that, but definitely in the details of your technique. And my carving now has really got to a point where I can really push on with that. Like, my carving is actually fairly decent. My short turns are okay. And those are the two things that Landgraaf is absolutely perfect for drilling and practicing, and all of the different drills that my incredible instructors have told me about, I can put them into practice in Landgraaf and really concentrate. And it's so quiet there as well during the daytimes, especially, that you can really practice and home in on that. So that will be my next ski trip over to Landgraaf. I love Landgraaf. I think I've done a video on summer skiing, and Landgraaf is probably in that. So if you want to know more about that and about hotels and tickets and all of the details about Landgraaf travel, it will be in one of those previous podcasts. But I will try and document that trip, and there's several of us going. And then after that, I'm off to France for a week or two's holiday at our house in Champagne. So that will be fun. And during that, I'm going to be doing a lot of jogging, a lot of running, a lot of physical fitness. Not only then, but the build up and also after it as well. And then I'm hoping that my very first real ski trip is going to be in October sometime. So as soon as I see that there is some decent snowfall in October, what I'm really looking to do is head over to Austria and do a tour of the glaciers in Austria. So there's quite a few, and they're not necessarily what you'd consider close, but they're close-ish if you're like me and you don't mind doing some serious miles. And there's some really nice ones over there. Hintertux I probably won't do, because I think actually that one is a bit of an outlier in terms of distance. I've got to check again, so don't take my word for that. But there's loads of other glaciers over there. Obviously you've got the Kitzsteinhorn, and then there's lots and lots of others as well that are in a vicinity whereby you can travel each day to the next one, stay overnight, ski the glacier, and then on to the next one the next day. So that could be quite a fun-filled trip that I'm excited about. It all really depends on the snow conditions and whether there is enough snow to make it worth going or not. We'll have to see. And then actually, funnily enough, my first ski trip was meant to be at the beginning of November back to Hintertux, which actually is not my favourite place at all. But Stompit were doing a camp there, and I really enjoyed the last one, and I just thought that would be a nice start to the season. It's a nice course. The people who are on it are not necessarily like the absolute best skiers in the world, so it would be fairly relaxed. The trainers are super energetic, super passionate, super fun. So I was looking to do that for the first week, and I did actually book it. But what I actually decided to do is gift that entire trip to my wife. So my wife Jade, she really struggled initially with skiing, and I'm actually very, very proud of her, because she's had to put in a huge amount of mental and physical work to get to the position she is now, and has actually become a decent skier. I actually think Jade could probably pass her level 1. Apart from maybe short turns, but she's become a very competent, very good skier, and her confidence has grown and grown and grown along with her ability. So I thought what would be really, really nice for her would be to go off and do a Stompit camp, which is perfect for someone like Jade to be able to push on. The way they teach that course is this really fast progression with this really passionate style of teaching. I've not actually experienced it with other camps and other people, and I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying that it's different, and I think it's absolutely perfect for a certain kind of person like her, for example. I want her to enjoy the social element like I have, mixing with all of your camaraderies on your course, and talking about skiing and having fun, and you know, going out for dinner and all those kinds of things that I've experienced. I would love for her to experience, and she will. So that very first couple of weeks of November, Jade is heading off, taking my place to Hintertux. And when it comes around, I just know I'm going to be bitterly jealous and devastated that I actually gave it away. But I'm excited for her, and I'm excited to see how much of a better skier she comes back, because I really do think that that particular camp for her is going to be spot on. And I just know and trust that those guys are going to really enhance her ski level. All of Jade's lessons up to now, other than some very small moments, have been taught by me. So the first part of her skiing really was taught, well, actually on the dry slope, to be fair, by the amazing guys down on the dry slope. But after that, all of her training has been done by me, and some of it was before I even did my level 1, so I probably wasn't even teaching her correctly. But since I've done my level 1 and gone on to do my level 2, obviously I've been able to teach all of my friends and family to be able to have good technique. But husband teaching wife it is a complex situation. It is a very complex situation. For any of you that have ever tried it, experienced it, it's not like teaching other people. It's not like teaching friends or even children or anything like that. It is not easy. It usually ends up in some sort of argument or disagreement. And it is not easy. On the positive side, clearly what I've taught her has made her a significantly better skier because she has become a very competent skier. But it's not always the most enjoyable thing for both parties. So her going off to do a camp on her own with me not even there, not even being able to interfere or comment or anything else, I think will be the best thing that she could ever do for her skiing, and I'm really excited for her. So that's something that's coming up in the future, not too far away now. What are we? We're just about to start July. So we've got July, August, September, October. So that's only 4 months away now. Yes, ski season is coming back. At the beginning of the summer, doesn't it just feel like the longest distance away? Like you calculate the months and it just makes you think, oh, it's never going to end, this poxy summer. But we're halfway through it, I guess. You could look at it like that. We've got July, August, September. We've got 3 more months until October. And October is that month where you can possibly get out. If the glacier trip to Austria doesn't work out, then I'm probably going to head over to my beloved Zermatt as soon as the Fergsattel lift opens, which is usually sometime in October. And then you get those 2 sensational red runs on the Fergsattel lift and potentially even a little bit over to the other side. Cervinia usually opens up quite a lot, quite early, so you get all of that as well. But it all obviously depends on the wonderful weather and this annoying situation where the snow is not, according to other people, what it used to be. So yeah, there is that coming up. I think I've got quite a few trips planned. I don't think, I know. I do have quite a few trips planned, but I'll probably save those for a future episode that is closer to the time. But needless to say, I've got some incredible ski trips booked and planned. And the biggest one, which is the one that I'm going to do straight after Christmas with some friends, is a real trip and a half. So I am super, super, super excited about that. I've got another big trip coming up at the end of November as well, for a few weeks actually, which is another exciting trip around various places. So I'm excited about that, but I will save all of those for another episode. I have got a bumper episode coming up for you guys, which I'm going to go through every single item of my Stockley collection, and I'm going to review and detail all the skis, everything that I've got from Stockley, every last thing, the clothing, the skis, everything. But I can't do that until August because they kindly actually sent me out some skis which I'm not allowed to show online until the embargo in August. So I don't know when that is, but as soon as that embargo is lifted and I can show you these new models of skis, I've actually got 3. I'm going to do that in a podcast that's dedicated to Stockley and goes through all of their skis in detail. Because one of the questions I get a lot is, how do you know what ski is meant for who and for what conditions, etc. If I could only have 2 skis, what would I have from the Stockley collection? You know, these kinds of questions. So hopefully I'll be able to go through it in that episode and answer them all. In addition to that, Andy from Snow Camps Europe has kindly offered to come on the podcast actually a couple of times. So I do need to get Andy on. That would be absolutely fantastic. And for those of you that want that summer fix of podcasts and just ski info and various other things, make sure you head over to Andy's channel, Snow Camps Europe, because he puts up regular podcasts, regular bits of information, even product reviews, and he's even bringing out his own range of products, plus his own ski camps as well, which are looking absolutely fantastic for the next season. So head over to see Andy's channel. I've also had acceptance, I think, from Scott, who was my level 2 trainer, who I've spoken a lot about. And Scott will have real interesting chat, hopefully, about all of the stuff that he can talk about. He works in Norway, so that will be an incredible chat in itself. And then obviously his years of teaching and the level that he skis at, so that would be incredible as well. I've also got some British race competitors that I've spoken to that are going to come on the podcast. I've also got Steve Jones, who is ski coaching online, and we've got some various different things lined up that we're going to do, and he's a very, very interesting guy, and I can't wait to talk technique and get geeky with Steve. He owns a training school in Zermatt called Connect, which is a fantastic training school that I would recommend to everybody if you go over to there. So I have actually got lots and lots and lots of guests lined up. I've got another couple that travel around in their motorhome doing ski adventures all winter. So there's lots lined up. I've just got to get to the point where I can kind of get dates, tee it up and get on with it. But I think the latter part of the summer will be that time, because obviously winter, everybody's busy with the skiing and the teaching and everything else. And then the first part of the summer, everyone's winding down, you know, getting things sorted out after their long season. So I think this second part of the summer is going to be the time where I can get all of these podcasts and interviews and everything else done. So that will be a lot of fun. But that is it from me today, guys. I have waffled on enough. I hope you guys enjoyed that little update. I've had lots and lots of messages saying, when's the next podcast? When's the next podcast? So I'm deeply sorry for leaving it so long. I categorically promise to not leave it so long for the next one. If any of you guys have got any ideas of what you would like me to talk about, products you'd like me to review that maybe you've seen that I use, anything like that at all, drop me a message, an email, a comment on the YouTube channel, whatever it is. If you're listening on the podcast app or on Spotify, these also get uploaded to YouTube, so you can actually watch along and see the surroundings that I'm in during that, and then you can watch it, like I say. So yeah, if you're watching it on YouTube, you can listen on Spotify, in your car, vice versa. So I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.